Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new video. This is the our conclusion and synopsis of the Challenge All Stars, the final. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. The first half of the final, um, the, the first half of
I feel like
let me just say overall the final. I didn't mind the checkpoints. The only problem is that it felt like, and I know this is All Stars, but like they kept like they do the checkpoint and then it's like a stopping point, and I guess they drive them to the next checkpoint
yeah.
and then they do it, then they stop. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a overall like
Like it
you have
should have
to
been
get here, get here,
because
get
if
here.
this the final, why y'all resting? Like
Yeah, so
y'all
I thought
supposed to
that was
be out of breath. I need y'all to be like Zach was in that final, cramping up that mountain. I need y'all to be hurt. Like if it's a
not you need
final,
them to be no, I don't want them to be nothing like that, but just
no, I need a
I just
continue. If
like
this is the final, I need a continuous. Like there is
yeah, I
no
was like, what do
breaks
you continue?
outside. Definitely, if it's gonna be a two-part episode, like no breaks. At least they didn't show us the overnight. But overall, I think this final sums up how I feel about this season, and it was very meh.
That's how you feel about the actual checkpoints. I didn't mind. I thought the checkpoints was cool because it was
If
a
it was a
couple of
continuous thing, then I wouldn't mind. But since they have breaks, because like people were rested, like people were legit rest. People were having whole conversations in these cars. Like, no, y'all should not be debriefing and getting right back in the right state mindset. Like, if y'all being angry, because we see it in this episode with Frank and
yeah.
Sam. Like, if y'all angry, I need that to be continuous. I don't need y'all to be able to like make up and be like, you know what, I was wrong. I don't need self reflection right now. Have
Mm.
that after y'all done lost. Like I need you to be in it. Like, and that's the problem I had. I felt like there was stakes, but there wasn't really stakes.
Mm.
Like
And
compared to the finals that we had in the past. Again, even if you do checkpoints, either have them drive or have them run. Like what are we doing?
but also I thought that I thought everybody did well. And not Frank, who am I trying to say? Davon and Shane, who I don't think a lot of people considered in at the beginning or in general, they came out day one at the top of the leaderboard,
Yeah.
even though Adam and Steve weren't far behind. But I think like a lot of people kind of counted them out. And I mean, I think a lot of people counted a lot of people out. And because the first day of the final, um, Nicole and Melissa won that first checkpoint, and for Adam was like, I can't believe Nicole and Melissa are the ones that won this. So I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think it was a fair kind of matchup with everybody. I think some parts people were better at than others, but a lot of people still won checkpoints, even though if people considered them a weaker team. So
Yeah.
I thought everybody kind of was matched up like well, evenly.
I guess let's just go by teams and kind of give our overall thoughts.
Yeah.
We can start with Shannon Devon, because I do want to say in the first part of the final, I did find it funny how, and Zach on his podcast, he mentioned it too. Like Devon was just like cutting up this, her food. It was just like, Shane was like, oh yeah, I think we're friends. And Devon was like, yeah, so what's everybody
That was
first meal? And
great. I
then when
love
he
that part.
when he runs off, I think it was Adam or somebody was like, "Oh, he's just upset," and she's like, "Oh, really? Why?" like, like you knew he was upset. You didn't call him a friend. Like.
Yes.
So I do find that
Yes.
funny. But I do think overall, because I know he was talking about how he wasn't gonna allow her to win, but at the end of the day, I feel like well, let me not say that. I think in most cases, people aren't heartless and would not steal the money from most people, especially if they got a family to feed. I just feel like
Yeah.
you might in that moment, yeah, he was mad, but I don't think he was ever going to steal the money or throw the
Mm-mm.
finals so they don't win. But I do think overall, like I said in our last review, that I do think that when they don't have to work together is when they work together the best. Like where it's just like
Mhm.
oh, you want to do this? All right, let me just step back, like we saw with the barrels and how Shane was like, math is my thing, just move it. And Davon was like, all right, and we saw that they was able to do that. So I do, like I said, think they work better when they're not working together. If that makes sense.
Yeah, Devon, while her and Shane had their problems, I think as a overall team, in the heat of the moment, they're neither one of them are thinking about whatever the conflict is,
Mhm.
and they turned out to be a really good team. They throughout like not like for just the first day. I'm sorry, not just the first half. Like the overall final, they did amazing.
Yeah, they were second throughout the, if not first,
They
they
were
were
first for
second.
most of it.
Yeah,
They were first
that's what I
for
said. If
most of
not
the
first, they
final.
were second.
Yeah,
But for the
and
most
so
part, they
then
maintained their lead. But
yeah.
overall, Shane and Davon did win second place,
Mhm.
which is great. I do think is rightly so. Out of the teams that were there, I think this final, I think everybody placed kind of where they should have placed. Um, and for this to be Davon's last season, I wish her last season would have been a main. Well, we know people always say this is my last season, so I'm not going to hold her to that. But for this to be her last season, I'm a little disappointed. I do wish that her last season would have been a main season, just because I feel like the main season, at least it used to be a little bit different. There's just like you came on the main season, and then you should end on the main season.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, like you said, people always say it's their last season, and after Leroy came back several times, and who I don't know if Johnny West came
Johnny said it
back,
was his last season. I think West said it was
Johnny.
his last season.
I don't trust when nobody says their last season. So if we don't see her, then I'm sad to see this be Davon's last season. But if we do see her, happy to see her again. So
Yeah,
what
but like I
happens?
said, coming in second for your last season is a good feat, especially since this is our first final.
Yeah.
Um, but let's talk about the last place team, which is Nicole and Melissa. I do find it kind of contradictory how Nicole loves to say that her and Melissa are friends, that they have this relationship that's platonic, and we see countless times that there's no platonicness to them. And I told you in our last review that
I mean, I think
that
somebody,
Nicole and
somebody,
Melissa was not
I
my
saw somewhere that Nicole said nothing happened, like whatever, they put that sticker up on the
we
screen
literally saw
star.
Melissa.
She said that nothing had happened. I
Who
don't,
she lies? The only person she lied to is herself because there's cameras. Like we literally
yeah.
see her pulling up, her underwear. Like
Yeah,
so,
so she says that, but as a competitor team, I think they fall in like kind of like not they not. I think they're a good match.
mm,
Because Nicole, when she yelled at Melissa, I don't think Melissa take it too personally, too hard to
yeah,
heart. And
that's
I
just the way they talk. They
yeah,
yelling
yeah.
is their love language.
Yeah, because like
Like
when you look at like Sam and Frank yelling at Sam, Sam is like taking all that and
yeah,
feeling down and down, and Nicole yelling at Melissa. Melissa kind of like, I don't care what you're saying, like you know what I mean? Type
yeah,
of thing. Like it's not as is a better working environment for them because I don't think either one of them is as upset with each other or taking the words as serious as like someone like Frank and Sam were doing or
yeah,
are doing, rightfully so. But um
yeah.
yeah,
I
I think
do
they're a good
think
team and they started off well, but like and
the
they kept getting
communication
further and
really,
further behind.
yeah. Yeah, I do think they definitely need to work on that communication. And also, we see in this episode how Nicole, when they was doing the FUD challenge, Nicole threw up it, or like her threw up, spilled back in it, and Melissa was like, "I'm done," and but she still like, how you think like. How are you standing there and think that this is justifiable? Like, I get it, but I would have been Mel too. Like, this is nasty. There's no way. But we did see Mel. I don't know if they replaced it or what, but we do see Mel go back in. But yeah, I would have been her
You
too.
gotta
Like,
finish it yourself if you like
yeah,
if you did it into the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to finish it. This your plate now.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But overall, I don't know. I like them. No, I wouldn't even say that. I don't know. I just don't think Nicole. I don't know. I don't know how to describe Nicole because I don't think she come into the challenge wanting to win. I don't think she has.
You think so?
I don't think so because every time we see her, she's in the bed with somebody, and then
Mm.
she always says she has a girlfriend back home. We saw
Yeah.
the same thing with Laurel last season. How she's like, oh, or at least at the reunion, she ended up having, I don't know where the relationship timeline aligned, but she had a girlfriend either beforehand or afterhand. But she was still flirting with Laurel. And then we see this season, you actively have a girlfriend. You even have the girl talk to Mel, and yet you're still doing what you do. And this is a constant thing that we see every season with Nicole. So like I wouldn't say she's a bad competitor. Her focus is just always on the wrong things. Like
Okay.
she shows up for the dailies, but when she back in the house, yeah. But I do think her best showing was last season because I think Jay kind of focused her out outside of the whole Laura situation.
Yeah, I would like to see both of them back on the main season, but they both should have. All Stars is just very.
Yeah.
It's
Um.
very random at this point. People like Melissa and Nicole should be on the main season. I
Mhm.
mean, we keep saying this. People keep saying this, not just us. This season, the challenge, the direction of the challenge, the focus of the challenge All Stars in general, they don't have their focus
Yeah.
anymore as far as a show, as a franchise, because the competitors they have chosen to put on All Stars is not
What All Stars originated
is
as.
not what All Stars originally was. Now I've seen like rumored cast lists for season 6 of All Stars that they I saw something that said they did get greenlit for season 6 of All Stars, and that people like Coral and oh, it was a bunch of other people. I think I saw Brad, but like yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But having Nicole and Melissa, who are fairly new age,
Mhm.
they're not like rookies, no, but
Yeah.
they are new school and
Yeah,
they should.
I think that's the issue. The timeline of what they're considering all stars is kind of skewed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Nicole is in the same token, Nicole is relatively new, but at the same token, she is kind of because she would have been what era three, I would say. I think she's somewhere over there. So a lot of those,
No,
I'm
I think
like,
even after era 3, I don't
I don't
know,
think
but
she's era four. She's definitely not era four.
I think she might be era 4. I don't know, but she not All Stars era or whatever. She would
Yeah,
have
she
never
definitely
been
not all stars,
era
but I
1
think
or
also
era 2.
because she's an active firefighter, I think that's kind of why she chooses to do all stars. So in her case, it kind of makes sense. Mel case, not so much,
No, it
unless
don't
it's
make
just
sense.
because of her daughter and she want to. I guess the scheduling is more beneficial to do all stars than it would be for
But
Mel.
they shouldn't even get the invite. I understand for them,
Yeah,
like I'm not saying for yourself.
yeah, I understand that. Like they
Yeah,
shouldn't get the invite, but I'm guessing.
you should pick whatever's best for yourself. So it's not on them. I'm talking about on production to even give the invitation for that instead of the main season doesn't make
Yeah,
sense because the criteria is so is I don't know what I don't think it's a criteria anymore.
not anymore. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think season 1 definitely. Season 1 was
Season one and two. After season three, when they brought West on, it broke.
yeah. And then when
Uh,
they brought Jordan, we was like, what is happening here?
yeah.
That didn't make
Um.
any sense. And he swept the whole thing. And not to say that that was even a like um oh everybody on that season I think shouldn't have been there. I think
Yeah. That whole season four
that whole
was
season
like,
was crazy.
yeah,
But Jordan, if he would have like you wouldn't have put Jordan on season 1 with everybody else that was on season 1. It doesn't
yeah.
make so yeah, yeah, they just need to
uh,
put their focus together. And like I said, I like Melissa and Nicole as people on the challenge, but I think they just need to stay on the main season.
yeah. Next up, we have Frank and Sam, and I do want to say, well, one, Frank made the comment was like, we're no longer rivals. But I was like, y'all was never really rivals. Like, y'all just, you did a thing and that was it. But from my understanding, y'all was still talking outside of, like, y'all didn't go 14, 15 years without talking. So it's like,
Mhm.
but I do think, I don't know. I kind of feel, I don't know how I feel. I feel bad for Frank because this is kind of what we knew was going to happen. And like I think when he was giving his exit interview or that last confessional, you can really tell that, he was like, oh, I'm not mad at her. Happy at what she did. But it really sounded like, I'm done with you. Like, I can never like I don't think I can move forward from this. At least that's the way I took from it. Like he was saying everything on the opposite, but all the subtext that I heard was, yeah, I can never forgive her for this. Like we're not cool after this. I'm pretty sure we're never going to talk again. Like there's like,
I
oh, the relationship not going to change, but I feel like the relationship definitely has changed, and I do feel like he was throwing that master's around. He's like, I
It's a
did a full.
doctorate. Be clear, it's not a master.
He did a doctorate. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm a doctor. I'm Dr. Sweetie. Like, I did a full
yeah,
orthopedic workup. Like,
you're
nothing
right.
is wrong with you. Like,
I I understand both perspectives because
mhm.
Frank is like, I've been training for this, like I'm ready, I'm physically fit to do this. And I do believe that if it was an individual challenge,
Yeah, it would have been a
Frank would have
different.
won. I do believe if it was an individual challenge, everybody that's standing there as individuals had to run and compete. Frank probably would have won. Yeah, Frank would have won, I believe. Um, and so I feel for him in that sense. He came prepared, but you don't know what these challenges are going to do. And
Mhm.
that's also why how they always say Josh is trying to make Wes his rival. If he's nothing but Josh is going to be set up for some good stuff if he Wes is his rival. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But Sam was his rival, or whatever, even though they're cool or whatever. And it's nothing he could do. But on the other end, Sam, I believe she did the best she could. I can't do
yeah,
nothing. My knees are giving out. Like,
yeah,
unless he turned into Superman and can carry me across this thing, it's nothing I could do. She is pushing, my knees buckling. Like, I literally can't do anything.
yeah,
And so she did it. She did not stop. She barely, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm being like I can't breathe, and I'm still moving, I'm doing
yeah.
it better. People in the past we've seen who stop and be like, I'm
Burnt
done.
out and be like,
Yeah,
like I'm
like I'm
done.
yeah. So she did all she could. And I think a lot of the reason why, I think if she was in an individual competition, she would have stopped and be like, I'm
Yeah,
done. But I think because she's trying to, she's trying to you know, not be like let Frank down, she kept pushing it, kept pushing. So I think she did the best she could. I think she did good. Yeah, so it was nothing that could have been done on either end. They both did their best, and they both did the best that they could do for the other person. So,
yeah.
but I do think he lost his temper when he was yelling at her and like telling her, like, there's nothing you can do this, you can do like he's like, you're just walking. Yes, and I cannot walk. Believe me, I would lay down if I could. So I
Yeah.
think he went a little overboard right there
Mhm.
because he should not have been talking to her like that. And glad he apologized, but there's nothing she could do. So I don't think he should have. I mean,
Yeah.
in the moment, you probably can't see it, but
Mhm.
yeah.
I do want to ask, so I don't know, Sam made a statement that she's getting top surgery or that she would get top surgery if she won the money. So I don't know if she's transitioning or maybe she's non-binary or I don't know. But I thought that was interesting and they didn't really get into that. I would have preferred because I feel like a lot of the storylines like they mentioned stuff, but it didn't like play out or we didn't kind of
They
see
didn't
that.
really
So I think
talk to, they did a little bit on other people, but I don't feel like they
yeah,
talked
they
too
really
much on.
outside of their whole like this is what happened in Battle of the Seasons, and that's kind of been like their through line. But I felt like Sam, because she even mentioned it in this episode, like, yeah, I have these insecurities, like, yeah, I'm maybe overweight or like I'm not physically fit, and I think Frank, to his credit, did the best he could as long as he could to kind of prove to himself and prove to her that I'm not going to be mad at you. But I just don't think it's in his nature to also, he came, like you said, came to compete. So I just think their storyline kind of got muddled because they wanted to play one angle of it, but I think individually they have more to tell. Because even Frank said he wanted, to start. Even Nicole, she's like, I want to start a family, but that was not like outside of,
They didn't give as much background on people as they have in previous seasons, and I feel like maybe that's the only time we know that they giving background on people is when we like, oh yeah, they about to get eliminated.
yeah.
Like we done learned a little bit too much about you to this episode. That's why I know you gone.
Yeah, because even with Adam, like we knew that him and Avery got together last season, but to the level that he's ready to propose to her, I was like, where did this come from? And like we saw that he called her too, and we didn't even see that in the moment. So it was like a lot. That's the only thing that I feel like they got to find a balance of what stories they want to tell versus what they're trying to, I guess, manipulate into, you know. Because granted, yeah, it makes for good TV seeing Frank as the bad guy, seeing him pulling the strings. But also, I want to see this change. Like, what? I don't. I guess that's the thing with, I guess, reality TV in this sense, where it's not like a Housewives or something where it's like a linear story over a course of time. It's more so this is the game, so this is the main focus. But yeah, I would have liked to see more of like that, like how he met his husband, kind of the whole family thing, and kind of like how he worked to make this change. I would have learned, I would have cared. I think that would have made his story a little bit more better, not seeing that he was just like this competitor and like Viper or whatever the case may be, because we already knew he was that, but seeing this softer side of Frank, because even when he was last episode, when he got emotional in his confessional, because he's like, I came here because I wanted to compete, like, and I'm not doing my best because my partner, unfortunately, can't, you know, keep up. It's just heartbreaking, and
I
that's the Frank I wanted to see more of.
Yeah, I think overall this season was a reintroduction for Frank. I
Yeah.
don't think All Stars is any defining season for him because
Mm-hmm.
we haven't seen him in a long time. And this is just to say, in case you didn't know, this is Frank. Now he on the main season. I
Yeah.
think that's what's gonna happen. I think they about to put him on the main season, and he gonna do great over there because he is on par with everybody that's there as well.
Yeah. I would love to see him and Jordan on the same season.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
That would be interesting.
even Jordan. I mean, no, I would love to see them together, but I still got Jordan
I mean, I
by
still got
himself.
Jordan as a winner, but I'm just saying, like them in that same house together, the way they
Yeah,
play the game, I can. It's going to be the
yeah.
politics, the
I
moves,
feel
like the
like Frank,
alliances.
y'all, you think that's really? I think
I
Frank
think they
is
will be on opposite
similar
ends.
opposite ends.
Yeah.
No, I don't know opposite ends, but I still feel like Frank is like more on par with the West as far as the way he played the game.
Well, not. I'm not talking about the way they. I'm just talking about in the house, like in general. Those two, like as far as like being competitors and like they play the game differently, they compete differently. Like Frank is like, I just think him and Jordan will be good in the house. I think it would just be a good dynamic. Whether they be on the same side or opposite ends, I just think them two in the house that will bring some of the challenge back to see like these titans like
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
really there to compete
yeah.
play.
I think Frank is up. No, so not that I don't think Frank is up to par with the Jordan or whoever. It's just I think Jordan. I didn't feel like Jordan did more seasons. I think when Frank first got in there, I don't think he did as many seasons once he started. I think he left before he could do
Yeah,
seasons to get his reputation or whatever up there. But I do think he is great, and I want to see him on the main season so he could compete as an individual.
yeah,
But, okay, so let's get to the final team, which is Adam and Steve, which are the winners of this season. I think overall it's a deserved win.
yeah. I will
That
say I'm not
came out.
surprised. I
Yeah.
mean, pretty much this season has. I mean, it was Leroy's and Devin's to lose, honestly, but it was Adams and Steve's to win at a certain
Yeah.
point. So it was like the way they was propped up as the underdogs and like
But those people did
the
that to them. Y'all gave them that storyline. When you keep throwing
yeah
me in, so now I gotta keep competing. So now people gonna root for me on the outside, anyways.
yeah.
For us looking in, yeah, I'm rooting for you because y'all keep throwing them in. So yeah, I hope they win and I hope they take all the money. So it's justified.
I know Nani and Turbo is probably laughing. She like Nani probably like I told y'all, I told y'all y'all should have gave us that star, and now y'all lost that money because. But overall, I don't know. I feel like we didn't see much of Steve. I felt like he was pretty
There for
much
the
kept
money.
down for the most part of the season. He was just there. But I do think also they showed their their history, and I was literally like, oh, they was like we're best friends. We shared this experience on World Rules together, and then you got this one moment in All Stars, and we just like instantly became rivals, and mostly because of Adam. But it's crazy that names are Adam and Steve because like Adam and Eve, so that's kind
Oh,
of.
I didn't think about
I
that.
just thought about that, but Adam and Steve, like they have to again, they're not necessarily rivals either. Like they were always going to be able to work together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're not
so
really rivals, and I just really don't understand this thought
they
of
use that
people.
term loosely in the show.
Yeah, I also don't understand this thought that people keep saying, or at least on the show keep saying that Steve betrayed Adam, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. I need to read
Like
because
I literally reacted based on what you were actively doing to
yes, you
me.
told me that it was okay that we doing this to each other, and so I did it back to you. So
Yeah.
I don't, I still don't understand that, but whatever. And at the end when they did that twist, which is not a twist, but
Yeah.
okay, and
Because
he
again, like I said, for the most part, I don't see any of them really choosing to
steal the
steal
money.
the money from.
Yeah, I feel like even Davon wouldn't have did that to Shane. I don't think so.
I would hope not. She's a God fearing woman now, so she changed. She turned her life over to Christ, and if she would have did that,
Yeah, I don't see any of them doing it. And if Frank and Sam would have won, I don't think Frank would have did that to Sam. And I don't think Nicole and Melissa would have did that to each other. So I don't think anybody would have done that. And I think the only way that it could have happened in this instance if like they were kind of justifying that they think the other person would have did it. Like you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like yeah, if Steve would have been like, well, I think Adam's gonna steal it. So I'm gonna
yeah,
say Adam or like I wouldn't do it, but I feel like Adam might, or I wouldn't do it, but I feel like Steve might. So that's the only way I feel like they could have got tripped up
yeah. Also,
because
I didn't. Oh, sorry to cut you off. I didn't like that we had to separate from the group to do this. Like, if y'all don't Love Island style, put us right here. Are y'all trying to steal the money, or are you gonna split it? Like, why are we going all over to this tiki shed and making this big deal out of it just to come back to the group and reveal our answers? Like,
yeah,
boy, if y'all just didn't put it in an envelope or give them a turn card and just be like, whoops, like very much. But those are our winners.
Adam
Adam
and
is
Steve.
going to propose to Avery. That's his everything.
I love
Um,
that nickname. That's cute.
yeah, that's why I said I do wish that we would have saw that more last season. That whole relationship develop. I don't know if it developed on the
It had to be
season
more so
or
after. I mean, I'm sure. I think we remember seeing something, but I think most of it must have been after.
yeah. But for them to, I mean, it's not because that was what now is not too long ago, but I don't know because I just feel like there's such a juxtaposition to when they're on the season versus she was already like living with him with the kids, pretty much Mama Avery. Like, so also that was another thing I wish they would have touched on. Like I said, kind of that relationship. I don't know if it would have been better if Avery was on the show,
I
but I
think if
kind
he
of
was
want to
on the show, you would have got
see,
more.
yeah, how she became like a mother figure to the kids because it seemed like they went, I wouldn't say 0 to 100, but it seems like their lives very much got like this real quick. So I don't know. I just find that fascinating. Maybe that's just because I'm a writer and I like to kind of see those things develop out. But yeah, that's just
But
I guess the
mm,
issue with the challenge nowadays. We don't really get to see the personal stories more so. It's more so what's happening in the house kind of takes over everything else.
yeah, but overall, to I think to basically like revitalize All Stars, they need to return to the format
Wow.
of season one
Yeah,
because right now All Stars is kind of like I don't know what the right word is. Like
it's a
what's
chore.
not a chore. It's like not as interesting because they lost the premise. So if they
Yeah,
return to season one, I think they would get back viewers, and people that are interested in it and watching the whole
yeah,
thing and all that stuff, and not falling off throughout the season because we'll be like, oh, we get to see who's the OG that's coming back this season that I ain't
yeah,
seen it forever. So I would like to see that. But if you keep putting people that I'm gonna see in a couple on the next show that start at the same time and like
yeah.
you keep saying, I'm like, okay, I can watch Johnny Bananas next season. Okay, unless it's CT, that's the only one I don't care if you bring back every time. But I
No,
doubt
they
they
bring CT on All Stars. I'm really rioting at that point because what are y'all doing? Like he's an All Star. If y'all want to define All Stars, then do like battle. Well, they did. Did they do battle of the? They did do battle of the champions,
and he
but
won.
do like no, he didn't win battle of the. Did
He
he
did
win
win.
battle of the
He
champions?
won Battle of the Champions. Wait, Battle of
I
Champions?
don't think so.
Oh, wait, who was Battle of
I
Champions?
think that was the season he did the traders.
No, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of a spinoff. I'm thinking Champs versus Stars. That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah, and plus I don't think they did.
They did Battle of Champions. Am I tweaking? They
No,
did.
Battle of the Champions was the four different.
What am I? I feel like
That's
that's
the world championship we thinking of.
okay. I'm like, I feel like I've seen
It's battle for a new
Battle
championship,
for a New Champ. Yeah, I'm
but
like, I feel like they
battle of
did
the
that.
champ or
Now, if they
worldship was
did
the
Battle
ones
of
with all the
Champions,
winners.
that'd be interesting if they did Battle of Champions only winners.
Yeah, instead of
That'd be
what they did
cool.
with the like, if they would have kept the world championship season stuff going on, then that would have been like nice and cute. Because
Mm.
they had bananas, Jordan, I think was on that season. But yeah, I do want to see Battle of the Titans. Like that would be a good
Yeah,
season.
Battle of Titans. Oh yeah, that'd be
That would
good.
be a good season.
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, if they need to return to the premise of All Stars and get it together, then I think people will watch it more. But if what I saw from the rumor cast list, then maybe they are getting back to that. Maybe they've heard feedback or something. So yeah, I would like to see that. But everybody on this season, mostly everybody from this season is people that should be on the main season. So like I said, I want to see Frank on the main season, and I believe he will be. I think there's no reason why he shouldn't be on the main season.
yeah,
He's great. He's good TV in general. He's great as a competitor, everything. So I think he should be on the main season. I feel like that's why they reintroduced like
yeah. I think
Dario.
him, Dario are the reintroductions. I think they will most likely be on the main season.
Mhm.
Again, I think because Nicole's a firefighter, I don't think the main season would fit her schedule. I don't even know how that works. So I guess she got to get that PTO cleared or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Um, but I think Jay also. I know this last season, but Jay is also another person I think can go back on the main season now.
Good Jay.
Um, but yeah, I do want to see some
Which
more
Jay
people.
we
And also,
talking about?
I feel like they should. I know a lot of people have been like blacklisted or banned or whatever, but I kind of want to see Zach back on the main season because he been talking a lot of stuff on this podcast, and I want to see if he think he still got it. Like, if he like, I want to see Jenna back whenever she's done having babies. I want to see some of these old school players that kind of, you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
made the
Yeah. And
challenge.
same with All Stars. I want to see Latarian back. I
I
want
want
to
to see Tech because
see
Tech was
Jack back.
hilarious. I want to see Casella back. I still don't know how I feel about Ariana, but she was a good addition until she lost the plot. But I want to see Janelle back.
Mhm.
At this point, Darrell should be on All Stars because he's getting a little out of his prime. Um,
Not you trying to cover derail.
I'm just saying he's not holding up to the standards he was supposed to be on as a champion, back to back champion at that. But yeah, definitely don't ever put Amber, B, Fessy, Nani, Turbo. Turbo is another one that they reintroduced to put back on that main season. Well, he's supposed to be on 41, I think.
Yeah, Turbo should never have been on All Star. Turbo is
I think they just need
what?
to see if he can play nice with others.
Yeah, I'm about to say I feel like that's the only reason why. But Turbo on the All Star season was kind of just like, what? That's like that's almost. as ridiculous as you putting Jordan on the on the
Yeah,
All-Star season. Turbo, what are you doing there?
yeah, but I think they did him dirty on Ride or Dies. I think that's kind of the challenge fault. Like y'all
Yeah,
did him dirty in that elimination. Like, so I
yes,
would be mad too. But
yeah. So Turbo is going needs to go back on the main season.
yeah,
Same with Amber B. It's just so many people. This whole season actually was just the main season. It really was. I can't think of who actually should have been like on All-Star season that was on this season
Monica,
besides Adam and Steve.
Kellyanne, Sylvia, those people I think should.
You think so? Yeah, besides
Yeah.
Adam and Steve, I mean, yeah, sure, yeah, and Kellyanne. But
But
it
I
was
do
more.
also think they need to space out these main seasons and all stars.
Yeah,
I think
they
they
showed
need to do either
one challenge a
one or
year.
the other. Yeah, like either
Yeah.
there's going to be an all star year or a main season year.
Or
Like
maybe at
we,
the beginning of the year and the end of the year. Beginning of the year, All Stars, end of the year, main season. But like
but
they
that's what
just
they're doing now, and we're going right back
it
into the
seemed like
main
it lasted so long. I'm
because
like,
we're going right because literally the main season will start in October ish, don't end until May, and then we come right back into All Stars
yeah, it's too
until
much.
the summer, and then we're right back a month or
Yeah.
two apart. And back, so it's either needs to be one or the other. We either
Yeah, you're
spending eight
right. You're
months
right. One or
with
the other.
we either spending 8 months with the main season, or we're spending 3 months
Right.
with yeah, we're spending 3 months. But yep, that's our recap and review.
Yeah. So overall, we enjoyed, well, the season needed a little bit more, but we'll see what happens next time and on the main season. But yeah, so please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of our review, and we will see you on our next video. Peace.